This is the Mackenzie River watershed. This video is the story of my paddle down the Athabasca River, the Slave River, across Great Slave Lake, and down the Mackenzie River to the Arctic Ocean. A few years ago, I hiked the Continental Divide Trail from Mexico to Canada, and more recently, the Great Divide Trail in the Canadian Rockies. This trip would complete my route from the Mexican border to the Arctic Ocean. This is my big gear sort out at the hostel in Jasper. Launching in Jasper on a smoky day. The river was full of snow melt and fast, and I wanted to make sure to stay in my boat. After all the planning, it was good to start. Sure was smoky, though. A small band of bighorn ewes and lambs. First night I camped in Jasper National Park, the next night just outside. Just past Brule Lake. Hitting must be 15 miles ahead maybe. Some pretty fast water here, but not very gnarly rapids. It's been very smoky, very chilly wind coming off of the cold water. I started May 16th. This was the morning of the third day. The clear Burland River runs into the glacial Athabasca. I camped at that confluence at a nice camp spot. The smoke made some nice sunrises and sunsets. InReach says gusts to 40. Short day for me. Two timber wolves. I saw one earlier too. Friends Arno and Elaine in the beautiful home they built in Athabasca. There's a long stretch of very bad rapids ahead, so Elaine and Arno are going to haul my boat while I walk the 190 miles to Fort McMurray. It's good to be back on the water. 6 o'clock in the evening, easy access campsite. Lots of dragging on Maui Lake through the shallow water and deep mud. Can you see all the horseflies? Pretty much been like this all day long. Except they're not really going after me to bite, at least usually. A short portage on the Slave River. This is Cassette Rapids. First of many horrible rapids between Fitzgerald and Fort Smith. This is why I'm gonna walk it instead of paddle it. This fur trading portage is now part of the Trans-Canada Trail. My long shadow at 4:40 a.m. Lots of muddy walking to shuttle my gear to my campsite. This short portage in the middle of the night was steep, brushy, buggy, brutal, but saved me many miles of paddling and was totally not worth it. I did a night paddle into Fort Resolution. Sadly, the store was closed. Great Slave Lake. Taking today off. Good idea. Really nice to have the rest. The wind died that night, June 24th, so I did another night paddle. A beautiful camp out of the wind and in the shade. Feasting in Port Providence on a much-needed day off. Clamshells along the Mackenzie River. Got the tent set up, the wind came up, and I decided to let let the wind die down, maybe start paddling this evening. Now it started thunder shower. Mosquitoes on my tent at 2:30 a.m. Launching at 2 a.m. on July 4th. Trying to beat the wind by paddling at night. The lousy bear last night chewed up my boat. See here, his canines like this. The lucky thing is he didn't puncture air bladder, but I am getting some water in the boat, so I'm going to glue it. Just dark enough that I could see this smoke-tinged moon. The Nahanni Range. This is the nicest scenery, I think, in a month. On the Mackenzie, I've been seeing a barge every few days. Who's just floating down the river, getting away from the bugs. The fishing was fantastic. I caught and cooked this nice pike and walleye. I picked these up in just a small area around Mackenzie's Smoking Hills area, the burning coal deposits. I think this is really fascinating. All the leaves. Leaf fossils. Naturally occurring round stones I gathered. Some dramatic bluffs on July 15th. Memorial to a young paddler who drowned here at the Sansu Rapids. These Rampart Rapids, a little more dramatic than I thought they were going to be. A 7-mile-long Ramparts Canyon. Lots of fireweed in this old burn. Another day must be in the mid-80s. I see wolf tracks almost every place I land. Wolves barking. My tent protected from the roasting midday sun by bent-over willow boughs, my sleeping bag and other gear to shade it. The wolf is following me. He's got some little ones upstream. Resupply in Inuvik. Getting close to salt water. The seal is coming to check me out. An old Inuit whaling camp. A beluga. Harpooned a whale?
Yeah, many times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many have you got?
So far, I got about 9 whales.
Holy smokes. Any harpoon and then shoot them yourself, or does somebody else in the boat shoot them?
I harpoon and shoot them. So
You shoot them with what?
30-06.
Plentiful cloudberries on the coast. Camp on the Arctic Ocean. This predicted wind from the north and east doesn't look good. 5 miles to Tuktoyaktuk. I am delighted that it's almost calm today, which is awesome because I've been fighting a headwind, a hard headwind for days. This is really delightful. When I'm paddling on flat water like this, lakes or ocean, I mean, maybe 3 miles an hour, but I'm paddling steady with no headwind, no significant wind. And when I'm paddling in a typical current, say on the Mackenzie, I am probably doing 4.5 miles an hour, something like that. Upper Athabasca, I was doing 6 miles an hour at times. End of the paddle, Tuktoyaktuk, Northwest Territories, 2,342 miles. For more information on my adventures, please visit bucktrack.com, where you can also order my books and videos in audio, digital, or hard copy. Thanks.